All right, Improvisation Center is back again with the Scion again. This time, as the title states, it's for a sunroof replacement. Why do you ask? Are we replacing the sunroof? Well, whether it's because of that accident that occurred that messed the rear end up and it jarred something on the sunroof, or maybe because the sunroof is just old and raggedy. It only went that far open when we tried to open it, and then it wouldn't close anymore, and then the motor made all kinds of icky noises that let me know that the worm gear or whatever type of mechanism that operates it is stripped. So since we can't even get the damn thing closed, much less open all the way, I said I might as well replace the thing because, well, probably trying to dig in there to try to close the thing will be just about as hard as replacing the whole thing. Now, replacing it will involve pulling this headliner off, along with that light fixture switch thingy and the sun visors, the little handles on the sides. It's actually pretty easy, all things considered, because if you give me a minute, we have a replacement unit pulled from a junkyard car. The same junkyard car, in fact, that lent all its parts for the ass end repair of the Scion. So it's a series of little studs and whatnot. Well, yeah, it's mainly studs around the back and the two sides, nothing in the front, that hold the thing down. It's not even glued down as far as sealing is concerned, because it has some kind of rubbery crap along the edges. But yeah, took this old sunroof out of a junkyard car, and we're going to replace our raggedy sunroof with this sunroof, which hopefully works. So we have to take our old one out first, so we might as well get started with that. One thing I will make note of on these handles here, these little plastic pieces right here, if they haven't been removed already, when you go to remove them, you're probably going to damage them, because the plastic is really brittle and cheap, and there's supposed to be little holes on the sides, on both sides of this, to put some kind of pick or something in there to pry the little clip ends so you could snap them out. But these are so degraded that even when you do put a pick in there, you'll probably end up breaking the sides off before you actually get the clip off. So just a little warning, you're probably going to break these clips. If you do get them intact enough, they'll probably look like this one right here. They'll probably look like this one right here, where the tab sides are broken off because, well, try to push a pick in there or something to release it, it snaps off. So yeah, these have to come off though. Now, as for our light fixture here, I have to show you a little something. Where the light fixture is at, it actually snaps in place with a little body panel clip, or not a body panel, an interior panel clip. So of course that means exercise caution prying this garbage off unless you want to be replacing these little clips. Get those clips back there next. Focus, focus. There we go. These little clips right here, they snap out to expose a 10mm bolt on both sides. To remove this clip, nothing big, simple little thing. Get that bolt out. And then it still sort of kind of snaps in there, so you got to be careful pulling it out. Got a little peg on there. So get this other side out, and we could start actually dropping our headliner. I will have to disconnect this light here as well, pretty much the same as you can see as the front light. So pop that out, then we can start dropping our headliner. Yeah, light fixture has a little clip actually. Just got to pull that out, and got another side right there. I have to verify that. Luckily, I didn't have to do this at the junkyard. Well, not luckily, but I did not have to do this at the junkyard. But it's pretty simple. Just two little clips right there to snap out. These little picks here are useful for these types of applications. So from there, need to unplug this shit if that's possible. I'll get back to you in a moment on this light fixture and unplugging the wires from it. Stand by. We'll go ahead and start pulling this panel down, which you gotta exercise caution with this stuff because it's not exactly extra strength stuff. Yeah. Just kind of work your fingers underneath some of these areas, try to work the stuff out. Be okay with a little manipulation here. Okay, we're free on that end. And we're free on that end. I'll have to take into account my wire for my backup camera and dash camera as well. And there's another little wire harness right here I got to take into account too. So, yeah. Let's get this all the way down. And we also have our airbag wires in the mix here too, so you'll probably want to, hell, worst case scenario, if you don't feel comfortable messing around with airbag areas, just unplug your battery. Just cut all the crap and unplug your battery. This way this won't be a problem. But most all this stuff, piece of glass from the old broken sunroof, but since we got this down, we could take a quick visual of the whole thing. The sunroof is literally the roof of this car. Like, the glass behind the sunroof is all part of this assembly. So from the hatch all the way to the windshield is the sunroof assembly. It's a pretty huge assembly, heavy as hell. But you could see everything right there. These are the studs that hold the thing down. Simple nuts. I do have to pull these side airbags off to access some of these nuts to get them free. Another one right there. Like I say, it's just a bunch of nuts that have to come off to get this thing out all the way. So my main thing right now is I'm going to get this wiring addressed so I can get this headliner completely out of here. Then we can move on to actually pulling the sunroof off. Stand by. Okay, as far as our light fixture is concerned, it's easy to just remove the entire fixture from the interior panel and pull the wires free from the headliner. So it's still going to be in place, but we'll at least be able to get this headliner all the way out of here and out of our way so we don't damage it anymore. Okay, we got a nut right here, nut right there, that's two. Let's see, we got this bracket right here that has to come off, so that's two more nuts. And we got one right here, that's 5, 6 right there, 7, Then we have one way up in there, that's 8, 9, 10, 11. This is around the back, mind you. 12, 13 right there. 14, 15 and 16 right there. Same little bracket as on the other side. 16, 17, 18. 18 nuts that have to come out of this thing in order to get this whole works out. So let's start pulling some nuts off. Also forgot to mention, there actually are some bolts along the front here. They almost caught me at the junkyard, but they are actually hidden by these little removable, I guess you could reuse them, plastic, rubbery disc thingies. But you got another one there, nothing there. You got 1, 2, 3, and 4. You got 4 of them right here. So these also have to come out. Same thing though, 10 millimeter. Okay, a little something about this set of nuts on the rear portion of the sunroof. If we could see that right there, they are recessed in there at the end of a long stud. Now that's no big deal, except depending on the kind of socket you have, deep socket you have, it might be a little bit too short. So you might have to do some creative crap, like put the socket on here and then put an extension or your ratchet on there and kind of hold the socket in place and have just enough space to get the thing in there to start turning the nut off. Stupid thing, but hey, those are the stakes. I got mine off using that little cheesy method, so you'll have to do the same if you don't have extra long 10 millimeter sockets. Just to let you know. Okay, back to this side airbag again. Because of the 2 nuts, one there and one right there, we have to take this down. We have 2 brackets here held by 2 10 millimeter bolts that have to come down to pull this part down, and then we have 2 bolts holding these little tabs holding the rest of the airbag in place. That all has to come down to give us the clearance to access those nuts. Also, as a side note, just for safety's sake, you might want to unplug your airbag, so if for any reason we don't have any kind of detonation issue here. And this uses these little bullshit tabs. We've seen these before on the clock spring. So we got that unplugged. So now we can go ahead and start taking this trash out. Now, let's see, make sure we get the right one. Yeah, right there. Get that one. Okay, that one wants to be a little snug. There we go. Okay, that's 2. Now you might feel froggy and say, hey, I got it down enough where I could probably get in there, and you might be very well right. I could demonstrate both ways. We could get that nut out right there. You'll probably be able to get this nut out. The other one will probably still be a pain in the ass, since the only reason I recommend pulling down the other part right here is because you might damage your airbag and then you're fucked. But I go ahead. If you could have somebody hold this crap, you can do it single-handed. Not have to pull those two tabs down if you're careful about your work, where you can get those two nuts down and not actually have to take this little portion down. So yeah, we got our nuts off on that side. Go ahead and do the other side, and then we can start extracting this thing. Actually missed two more sets of bolts near the front, right here and on the same side right there. Forgot about those two, but pull those off, pull those nuts off, and we're gonna start pulling out a sunroof. Stand by. Don't forget to unplug your wire harness for the sunroof. That's important. Time to pull this shit out. Alright, as I stated before, the sunroof is the roof of the whole car. After we pull the sunroof off, we have nothing but a gigantic hole here. So it was pretty simple. Putting the other one back in will be about as simple. Just requires a couple set of hands to be able to actually muscle the thing in place and not damage anything. So we're gonna go ahead and get that out of the way. One little thing you have to do is get all this old sealing tape, whatever it is, off of the roof frame as well as our sunroof, and apply something to help seal the unit when you put it down. For me, I'm just going to use some plain old gasket maker around here, because there's really no right answer or wrong answer for all intents. It's not like there's a specific glue or anything that you use for sealing these things. So you just basically put something down to seal the unit to the roof. So go ahead and finish scraping all this trash and apply our new shit so we can get our sunroof on. Got our new used sunroof setting down. Just have to put everything back together, starting with all the retaining nuts as before. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all that garbage back together. We'll go ahead and get our headliner back in and all the other hardware and test this thing out. Stand by. All right, we got everything put back together the way it's supposed to be. All the stuff, sun visors, handles, light fixtures, clips, all that good crap. Sunroof is completely in. So now let's just see if things work. Turn this key on here. Let's see, it should be in the on position. Oh, that's not the on position. There we go. Now we're in the on position. And we got sunroof action. This thing opens up as it's supposed to. Yes, sir. Got it to open up. Everything does what it's supposed to do. Go ahead and close it. Closes exactly like it's supposed to. Everything works as designed. Everything is good. Got our little shade things right there.
Bluetooth connect.
Go ahead and turn this thing back off. Seeing that everything works like it's supposed to. We could see also that everything is nice and flush. Everything sits good. Everything is serene, peaceful. I don't know about that, but our sunroof is in. Everything works like it's supposed to, and we're done with this little quick project. Wasn't as bad as I would have thought it'd be. So if you have to change a sunroof, it's really not that hard. Just gotta pull your headliner down and those little bits and pieces that I showed you, and get all the nuts off to remove the whole unit. Make sure you have a set of hands to help you pull the thing off. Even if you are Superman and can pick up 500 pounds, you still probably want some help, because this thing is bulky enough that if you make a mistake, it'll be a very costly mistake. So yeah, other than that, project's done. Sunroof is fixed. We're ready to rock and roll again. So till next time, hit that like button, subscribe, notifications, see more of our projects and antics around here, and I will catch you later. I'm out.